Children, the very symbol of innocence, carefree and bursting with laughter. But what if I told you that some of them weren't just victims of crime, but the ones committing it? Welcome to Hidden Crime Diaries, where history's darkest secrets resurface and the past refuses to stay silent. Some crimes are forgotten. These ones never will be. Today we're uncovering 3 horrifying cases of child killers. By the end of this video, you'll question everything you thought you knew about innocence. February 12th, 1993, Liverpool, England. A mother takes her 2-year-old son, James Bulger, to a shopping mall. In the blink of an eye, she loses sight of him, and that's when 2 10-year-old boys, John Venables and Robert Thompson, spot James and make a chilling decision to take him. For 2 miles, they led James away, deceiving concerned bystanders by claiming he was their younger brother.
We all recognise the images. The Strand shopping centre in Bootle, a young child being led away by 2 older boys.
Denise, what are your appeal to the public?
If you've got me baby, just bring them back.
What followed next is almost too horrifying to describe. The boys took James to a secluded area where they tortured him, striking him with bricks, throwing paint in his eyes, and ultimately delivering a fatal blow with a 22-pound iron bar before abandoning him on train tracks.
More than 30 people saw them dragging James, his head bleeding, but nobody intervened. And this is where it ended. The railway tracks at Walton. Just a few freight trains rumble through on their way to the docks.
The discovery of James' lifeless body sent shockwaves through the nation.
Public anger was almost unprecedented. There was a near riot the first time the 2 appeared in court.
During questioning, Venables eventually cracked and confessed, while Thompson denied everything. Despite their age, the court tried them as adults, finding them guilty of murder.
Robert was taken to Walton Lane police station. His mother went with him. Another team arrested John Venables and took him to Lower Lane police station.
Instead of serving time in prison, Venables and Thompson were placed in secure children's homes, where they received education, therapy, and supervised outings.
There are also regular sessions with psychiatrists to try and change the attitudes and behaviour which led to them getting into trouble.
After 8 years, both were released under new identities. While Robert Thompson has lived a quiet, undisclosed life, John Venables would later prove that rehabilitation isn't always successful. In 2010, he was arrested for possessing child abuse material. Again in 2018, he was sent back to prison for the same crime. His repeat offenses reignited debates on whether child murderers can truly be reformed. Mary Flora Bell was born on May 26, 1957, in Newcastle, England. The family lived in a filthy home on White House Road in Scotswood, a poor neighborhood riddled with crime. As Mary grew older, she became cold, distant, and aggressive. She did, however, have one close friend, Norma Bell, her next-door neighbor.
Norma pinned us down, and Mary had grabbed us by the neck and started strangling us. And then she had a hand here and she was getting the sand and then pouring it in my mouth, and it couldn't go in quick enough and she tried to stuff her fingers down.
On May 25, 1968, 4-year-old Martin Brown was last seen heading to the local shop for a lollipop. 3 boys entered an abandoned house and discovered Martin's lifeless body lying on the 2nd floor. Blood and saliva dripped from his mouth. Then just 2 days later, a local nursery was broken into and vandalized. Police found disturbing notes inside, one of which read, "We did murder Martin Brown, but it didn't stop there." On July 31st, 1968, 3-year-old Brian Howe was last seen playing with his dog. When he didn't return home, his family and neighbors searched the streets. Among those searching, Mary and Norma Bell. That night, Brian's lifeless body was discovered in a wasteland near his home. He had been strangled to death, his small body covered in scratches and cuts. His hair had been chopped off, and carved into his stomach was the letter M. She mentioned details about the crime scene that only the killer could have known, like the broken scissors found near Brian's body. That was enough to make her a prime suspect. On August 7, 1968, Mary and Norma were arrested for the murders of Martin Brown and Brian Howe.
Whilst Mary was in Red Bank, her mother received a letter blaming her for ruining her life.
Please, ma'am, put my tiny mind at ease. Tell judge and jury on your knees. They will listen to your cry of please. The guilty one is you, not me. I'm sorry it has to be this way. We'll both cry and you will go away. Tell them you are guilty, please. So then, ma'am, I'll be free. Your daughter, me.
Now, Betty, are you saying that your daughter is innocent?
No, I'm not saying she's innocent.
But something must have made her do these things.
Yes, something possibly must have made her do these things.
And what was it about her life and her family you think that could have driven her to these things?
Maybe it's the arguments between my husband and myself might have had some inflict on her. I don't know.
She served 12 years before being released at 23, granted a new identity, and disappearing from the public eye. Even more shocking, she later became a mother. The question lingers, can a child killer ever truly change? Our final case is different. This isn't about kids killing out of malice, but out of desperation. This is Catherine and Curtis Jones, the youngest children in U.S. history to be tried as adults for first-degree murder. At 13 and 12 years old, they shot and killed their father's girlfriend. But their motive wasn't bloodlust, it was survival.
In the report, they said there were indicators of abuse. And my brother told me he believed me. And he said, I know it's true because it's happened to me too.
Both endured horrific sexual abuse at the hands of a relative. They tried seeking help. They tried running. No one listened. In their young, traumatized minds, killing the woman in their home felt like the only way to escape. Sentenced to 18 years, both eventually found redemption. Curtis became a minister, and Catherine now helps at-risk youth.
Sometimes, however, even horror stories have somewhat happy endings, and Catherine Jones, who is due to be released from prison in July, may actually live happily ever after.
These cases reveal one chilling truth. Evil isn't always inherent. It's shaped by trauma, circumstances, and the world around us. But when a child commits an adult crime, should they face an adult punishment? Thank you for watching Hidden Crime Diaries. If you found these cases compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth crime stories.